a specific kind of smile. I didn't understand it until I saw it on my daughter last week. I was 12 the night he told me the story. We were at our lake house in northern Minnesota, the kind of place where everything smells like wet wood and old rain. My parents had gone into town, and for the first time in my life, they left me alone with him. That should have meant nothing, but it didn't feel normal, because my mom never left me alone with him. Ever. That night, he built a fire on the dock, not in the fire pit, on the dock. I asked him why. He said the smoke stays over the water that way. Then he just sat there, staring at the lake, for a long time. Too long. Then he said something that made me actually stop drinking. You ever notice? The woods go quiet right before something bad happens. I listened. No frogs, no crickets, nothing. And I said, yeah, like right now. That's when he looked at me, and I saw something I had never seen before in an adult's face. Fear. Real fear. That's when he told me about 1962, logging camp, Red Fall, Wisconsin, a town that doesn't exist anymore. 11 men went into those woods. Only my grandfather came back. And the first thing that went wrong wasn't the disappearances. It was the dogs. 3 Malamutes, big, aggressive animals. One morning, all 3 were sitting at the tree line, perfectly still, all facing north. They didn't eat, didn't move, just stared, like something in those woods was staring back. The foreman said it was a bear. My grandfather said, that's what people do when they're scared. They give things names, so they don't have to admit they don't understand them. Then the sound started. At night. Not animals. Something else. Almost like voices. But wrong. Like speech played backwards. Not noise. Not random. Structured. Like something was trying to talk and getting it almost right. That's when the men stopped sleeping alone. And that's when the first one disappeared. Tommy Reyes. He went to the outhouse. Never came back. They found his boots. Standing upright in the mud. Facing the trees. No footprints. No struggle. Just gone. And here's the part my grandfather said bothered him most. Tommy left behind a photo of his mother. And you don't run. And leave that behind. More men disappeared after that. One by one. No noise. No warning. Just there one night. Gone by morning. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the ones who stayed. They started changing, not all at once. Slowly, like something was learning them. The foreman stopped speaking properly. One of the men started standing at the tree line every night, just staring into the woods. And then one night, my grandfather woke up, and someone was standing over him, watching him sleep. It was one of the men, and he was smiling, but not right, too wide, too still, like he didn't understand how a smile actually works. My grandfather didn't move. He just watched him for 40 minutes. Then the man turned, walked outside, and disappeared, gone by morning. That's when my grandfather decided to leave. But one of the other men said something that stuck with him. I don't think it lets you leave. He had tried, walked down the road, and somehow ended up back at the cabin. Like the woods, wouldn't let him go. They tried anyway, before sunrise. But that night, one of the brothers woke him up, whispering, "Don't go back to sleep." My grandfather looked across the room. The other brother was standing in the corner, smiling, that same wrong smile. They ran, didn't stop, didn't look back, and somehow they made it out, got to a road. A farmer picked them up, and for the first time since it started, my grandfather felt safe, until he looked over at the other survivor, who wasn't scared, wasn't shaking, wasn't even blinking. He just turned slowly and smiled. That same smile. My grandfather jumped out of the moving truck, broke his wrist, tore up his knees, didn't care, because he knew something important. Not everyone who leaves the woods actually leaves. The police never found anything. No bodies, no answers. And the town? It was erased a few years later, like it had never existed. At the dock, the fire had almost gone out. The lake was completely still, and I asked him the only question that mattered. What was it? He didn't answer right away. Then he said something I've never forgotten. I don't know what it is, but I know it didn't stay there. Then he looked at me, really looked at me, and said, "I saw that smile again. On your grandmother. Then, on your mother." I felt cold. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. He grabbed my hand, tight, "Because you need to know what it looks like, before you see it somewhere you're not expecting." Then he said something that didn't make sense at the time, because tonight is the first time in years I've seen it clearly again. He died that night, peacefully. That's what they said. I watched my mother cry at his funeral, and I watched her carefully, because I couldn't stop thinking about what he said. 15 years passed. I stopped believing it, or at least, I tried to, until last week. I was putting my daughter to bed. She's 7. She had a nightmare. So I sat there, telling her everything was okay, that nothing in the dark could hurt her. Her breathing slowed. She turned over, looked at me, and for a second, I thought she was still half asleep, because her face didn't look right. Then she smiled, too wide, too still, like she'd learned it, instead of feeling it. And in that moment, I understood something my grandfather didn't say. It doesn't just follow families, it learns them. I'm writing this down for the same reason he told me, because once you see it, you don't forget it. So if someone you know ever smiles at you, and it feels wrong, even slightly, don't ignore it, because by the time you notice it clearly, it's already too late.